Hello, football fans, and welcome to Locker Room on the Voice of the People TV. I am your host, Jerry Appelia, and today we are diving into the most electrifying moments from the world of football. Join me, David and Maiwa, as we break down the latest and the hottest gist in the exciting world of football. The English Premier League is back. Wow, talking about the biggest football league, or I say biggest football showpiece, biggest football fiesta for a whole of a season. You get to enjoy that when the Premier League returns. And of course, today is a day of judgment for Manchester United and other teams. It's great to have you. And of course, I have the United guys with me in the studio. First of all, David, great to have you on this auspicious day.
Oh boy. Good evening, Jerry, and good evening to Nigerians and the rest of the world that are joining at this time. Again, like I always say, if you're looking for banter, this person here, if banter was a human, this is the person. So it's great to be here, and I'm excited. So much is upon us. This is about a time where you tell your girlfriend, your wife, I mean, this is when I own the TV, right?
Yeah.
Of course, this season...
We're on the TV this time.
You get the
no
weekends,
more soap operas.
The weekends and weekdays. Some days and the weekdays are...
No more soap operas during the weekends.
No,
you can record and watch on Monday. But when it's on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just stay off the remotes.
Straight up.
And let the men have the living room all to themselves. And I hope my wife has already given his wife a forewarning. I heard that the Premier League is back. The league season is back. The time for the men to own the weekends is back. Great to have you, my wife.
It's always amazing to be here. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of problem. I mean, my wife is a huge Manchester City fan.
Wow.
We literally sit down and watch DPL together.
That's a strong one.
So, sometimes I even have issues with her watching Manchester City game over and over again. Madam, you don't watch and just calm down.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's good that EPL is back.
I can imagine her bragging rights.
Yeah, I mean, we were both arguing about the 115 charges today and the rest of that. She was complaining about Oscar Bob getting his leg broken and the rest of that. So, I mean, it's going to be a huge time at least in my abode. I have my wife and my friends to banter with about football. But like I always say, it's a good Friday to talk football. Thank you for having me.
All right, it's a good Friday to talk football. And of course, the major news right now out of Locker Room is that a source at the Ministry for Sports says that the Minister, Senator John Eno, is favorably disposed to the idea of Samson Siasia taking over as the new coach of the Super Eagles upon the expiration of his ban. It looks like James has become a part-time prophet. It looks like Siasia is the overwhelming favorite.
It's quite an interesting one because right now we're looking at a situation that keeps all of us in limbo for over 5-6 months now since Pizarro left the job. And Samson Siasia being favored by the FA as the man to take over the Super Eagles job is almost a no-brainer since they refused picking the likes of Emmanuel Munike and, of course, not declaring if we're going to stay with Saint-Fiet or we're going to go straight to Eric Chell. So it's just that two distorted information from the FA. And we're glad at this point that it looks more like the ministry. And of course, I'm talking about the minister in terms of youth and sports development, Senator John Ewon, has chimed in on this. But is this a good deal? Well, wait and see. I mean, at this point, we don't wait not to get anybody. Because, yes, let's face it, honestly, Samson Siasia is returning to active football as a coach, and we do not know if he's had any refresher course in the past years that he's been banned, and so much of these things are just lying unanswered. But then, if this is the line we're going, I think it's a welcome development. Let's even have one person that would lead the team to further glory, because as it stands, were just in between the mix.
Meanwhile, it looks like the minister is liking the idea of bringing Samson Siasia on board. So it looks like James somehow, maybe he has been speaking to Siasia, I don't know. I've been asking him
his direct
what is the link up. He has been the most the favorable agent, and I think Siasia will have to give him a cut eventually when he becomes the coach.
We'll make that happen.
I mean, James and myself rightly called it. I mean, probably, yes, it's a good one that we are towing the line of Siasia. Yes, there's a lot of reservation. Somebody who has been out of football for almost 5 years, and why are we bringing that person back and just for that? However, one note of warning that I want to sound is this: there is a need for the NFF guys to give Siasia time. We cannot expect Siasia to do magic. That's number one. Number two, we should begin to take our mind off the Nations Cup or the World Cup. We should begin to take our minds off
Why?
it.
No, if it's the World Cup, Nations Cup qualifiers, it never start now.
No, I mean, Siasia is not going to be. Siasia is not going to be there for the first 2 games now.
Oh, well, true.
When we lose the first 2 games and we are struggling.
Are you so certain we'll lose the first 2 games?
It's a possibility. I mean, with the kind of preparation we've put in, if we lose, I will not be surprised. I mean,
Okay.
We are not prepared enough. However, I think we should build a project around Siasia. I want to take us back to the late 80s when Westerhoff was appointed. When Westerhoff came, there was a whole lot of noise in the media. Who is Westerhoff? Why would they go and bring somebody who is coming from an academy in Holland and the rest of that to think at Super Eagles and just that? Westerhoff was appointed late 88, early 89, and he was able to achieve success, taking us to our first World Cup in 1994. He had over 5 years, to be able to prepare with the team, to be able to, remote the team, winning the Nations Cup for us and getting us, to the World Cup in 1994 for the first time in our history. So I think if we want Siasia to succeed, yes, I think we need to give him time, and we should not be in haste to be able to say we want him to produce results immediately, because I mean the facts are very clear. The NFF they have run our football aground, to be honest with you, with the kind of preparation they've put in place, with the kind of unsure direction that our football has been going in the past couple of months. Right. There will be a need for us to even rebuild. And also when we are still on the issue of Siasia, we should also, I hope the NFF can extend this to our age grade competition, because before you know it, our so-called stars now in the next 2-3 years, they will be hitting their prime, and we need to have new bloods coming in that will probably take over from these guys. I hope they are able to replicate the same thing to our national team, so that to our age grade team, so that we're able to have a pipeline. But to be honest with you, it's a good one that we are giving Siasia a chance, and also this just give him a 4-5 years project for him to be able to rebuild our team.
Again, I really want to hold you on that. When you say give him time, I'm also considering giving him the full support, because if he decides not to take a Paul Onuachu, maybe because, I'm sorry, that just was about the name that came to my head, and maybe Paul Onuachu has been netting 9 goals in 8 games. Nigerians, as we know ourselves, will be agitating for a Paul Onuachu. But if he chooses not to pick him, can we support him? Can the FA support him?
I will support him.
Not laud him.
I will support him with my heart, might, and everything if he doesn't pick Onuachu. Even if Onuachu is scoring 100 goals in wherever he's playing. So forget about that. If he doesn't pick him, I'm fine at that. Even if he pick Osimhen with 1 leg, and leaves Onuachu out of the team list, I'm good like that.
David, you have succeeded in annoying Jerry.
Definitely, Onuachu.
That was the name that came to head. But really, in all honesty, I hope that the FA would clearly give Samson Siasia that full support at the end of it, because we need to start. We know Samson Siasia to want to pick up young players. We know his relationship with the likes of Mikel Obi. What's the name of this other young guy that is no more playing now? The under-20 squad in his days. We know Samson Siasia is going to want to be energetic with his players. But the question and the concerns in the lives of some loving football lovers like us is, when was the last time Samson Siasia managed any club or any country? So if he's, well, we know as well, he might want to start at the end of his ban going for some refresher courses, which would be very, very much welcome. Let's just hope that both the FA and football-loving Nigerians would give Samson Siasia the desired support that he needs at this point.
Yeah, we'll hope that he gets the desired support, and that means he should be monitoring the activities of, talking about Egwavon and
Daniel
Mokachi, whoever, if they are going to assist him in the 2 games against Rwanda. And that is still subject because the minister is backing the idea. That means someone in the NFF has already chipped it in and said, Samson Siasia is also a viable candidate. Can we give him the job after his ban is lifted? And of course, it will save them money in terms of expenses, and he has experience. He has coached great teams.
Save them money. You're making it look like Samson Siasia is going to come for cheap.
No, even though it's not going to come for cheap, it's going to be cheaper than Pesero, and cheaper than Averena, than Co. So the names that we'll be hearing.
I mean, Jerry, the thing is, I think Samson Siasia will come for cheap. And the reason is very simple. This is somebody that's coming from a ban, 1. 2, a job, a Super Eagles job will be a job to put him on the map again. If other people remember that Finidi George was paid 15 million, I don't think the NFF will give Samson Siasia 15 million. And also even Samson Siasia himself will not want to ask for too much, because I mean, this is an opportunity.
Why wouldn't he want to ask for 15 million?
I mean, the thing is this, see, like the NFF giving him the job is more like giving him a huge favor at this current time. I'm not saying if the NFF does not give him a job, he will not get a job somewhere else. However, you know, the job of Nigeria, you know, coaching one of the biggest brands in Africa, puts your name, you know, out there on the lips of people. And this is the kind of breakthrough you need when you're coming back from, you know, from a lengthy ban. So, I mean, to be honest with you, offering him the job alone is even doing him a favor. He will not be looking at the money. It's not as if the money is not important to him, but he will not be looking at the money at the moment, at right now. He'll be looking at getting into football first, you know, creating a name back for himself again, creating a buzz around himself, then now use that to negotiate. But at the moment, I think it will make a very logical sense for him to accept whatever it is that they want to pay him. And there were rumors that, you know, Samson Siasia is asking for 10 million, which is way lesser than what Finidi George was paid. So, I mean, it's a win-win if this job is actually offered to him for him when the ban expires, to be honest with you.
Again, I look at it from the perspective of it's a win-win, yes, but are we looking at the fact that Samson Siasia also is a coach with his pedigree? I'm talking about the man that took Nigeria's under 20 to the World Cup, and they made a statement. They made a statement as having fantastic young players come out of that squad. So we know his pedigree. We know how much he's even bigger than some of the names that we've been seeing before now. So if, for my record, Samson Siasia should be asking for even more. Because, like it or not, he also has his license, even though...
He's even better than Sensfeld and Richel.
Yes, that's what it is.
Put together. Not one, put together. Putting it together. So in terms of his CV, if you look at his CV, yes, maybe it's Averena because he has won 2 Nations Cup. Stands
exactly,
away
stands more than him.
Yeah.
But as it stands, he should be able to demand for better pay as he stands. I mean, come to think of it, if you can pay a Finidi George, who by pedigree is not as close to what Samson Siasia has done in the past with the Nigerian team.
Close.
I said not as close.
He can't even touch Samson Siasia's shoe. What are you saying? So, because he won the league with Enyimba, and now we want to bring in where Siasia is standing. So, please, they are not even close.
Exactly my point. So if a Finidi George will be earning 15 million, why wouldn't the Samson Siasia?
No, I think the only reason might be because the NFF is saying they don't have money, 1, and 2, is coming from a ban. So if he comes in and he does well, he can renegotiate his contract, or maybe tell them maybe he won't want to leave because he has been on a lengthy ban. If they give him the job, they are doing him a favor to redust back his CV and get himself back into football.
Jerry, to even add to that, see, if they give him the job, Samson Siasia should be a coach that should ask for maybe 30 million and just for that. No doubt, because I mean, he has a track record of success. However, if they give him the job and they give him, like, say, maybe 40 million naira every month, and we all know because of the shady preparation that we have put in, he doesn't really succeed immediately he gets the job. The pressure will be too much for him. So in order for him not to invite unnecessary pressure, and this is somebody that's coming in from a very lengthy ban, a whole lot of people, in as much as they are talking about him, a whole lot of people will not support the idea of somebody who has been under ban to come and take over the Super Eagles. So it is more like a trial job for him to be able to prove himself. Does he have the quality to do it? Yes, he has the quality to do it. However, if he's requesting for more money, that will put him under unnecessary pressure that he doesn't need at this point in time. He should keep his head down, get the job, do the job well, then use that as a leverage to negotiate for something better.
All right, and of course, definitely spot on there. And of course, it means that Mayowa and James have been advising Samson Siasia very well. And if he's asking and looking for agents and advisors, I would recommend Mayowa and James. But
they've been advocating for him since like forever.
Yeah, and of course, hopefully, maybe we'll bring him to the VOP studios back again.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely, he's been a friend of the house. We'll surely want to have him back when it becomes official.
Yeah.
When he's announced officially. All right, let's talk about Victor Osimhen, for crying out loud. Top transfer expert talking about Fabrizio Romano has revealed that Chelsea have not yet begun conversations with Victor Osimhen on the contract. The sport director of Napoli, Giovanni Manna, has visited London to sort out some of his club's transfer dealings. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano reported that both Napoli and Chelsea have been busy on a deal that will take Romelu Lukaku to the Serie A club. He said the Osimhen-owned side of the transfer is still in its early stages, as Chelsea need to speak to the striker. It was also stated that Chelsea never pulled out of the race for Osimhen, even when they were in the race for the new Osimhen, talking about Samu Omorodion. So as the case is, it looks like that deal still has a lot. A lot needs to be done yet before it will happen. Talking about Osimhen to Chelsea.
Honest truth, if you ask me, it's quite disappointing again that we're having this conversation of Chelsea and Osimhen having to, put Lukaku in the deal and then Osimhen going to the other side of the divide. But it's not like it's a terrible deal if the price is right. If the weekly pay, I also hear that the weekly wage, which is almost about, I think, 11 million euros per annum for Osimhen, that's the deal he signed with Napoli that, is putting him in all of this. But is Chelsea playing in Europe? The answer is half yes, because they'll still have to go and play qualifiers for Conference League.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely.
So let's say they qualify to the Conference League. Is Osimhen going to... He would make a good striker for Chelsea, no doubt. But we don't know what Enzo Maresca is coming to bring in this Chelsea team. Would he be considering Victor Osimhen as his top striker, or would he want to stay with the people that he has seen in pre-season? So much is just placed around all of these transfers, and it's quite unfortunate that no other major club is coming. For instance,
which of the players has he seen?
Is it
Michael Jackson? Is it Nicholas Jackson? Please. Is it Kuku? And who are the strikers? Please name them. All of them put together.
Chelsea fans.
I gather all the strikers. Is it because they have plenty squad? It's not by having squad, it's about quantity. It's not by quantity, it's by quality. I beg your pardon.
Chelsea fans watching, my hands are up. Not me talking.
Mayo, I don't understand, David. What is he saying? Is it because you gather a full two squad in one team, and you now believe that they don't have it? They don't have a striker, as far as we are concerned. Osimhen, if they sign him, then we can now say they have a striker.
True, though.
No, I mean, the thing is, Osimhen has done this before. Osimhen did not get to number 8 in the world via fluke.
Yeah.
He worked to be able to achieve it, and he was very instrumental in delivering the league for Napoli after 3 years of waiting. So, I mean, if you look at the Chelsea lineup, the front, the attacking end of Chelsea, I don't think there's an out-and-out striker like Osimhen that can deliver like Osimhen. I think Osimhen joining Chelsea will be an added advantage for them. They will have a striker that can guarantee at least a minimum of 20-25 goals a season, and those are the kind of players that they need in that particular team. I think if an Osimhen come to Chelsea, Enzo Maresca will have to build the team around Osimhen such that the team will be playing for Osimhen. Osimhen going to Chelsea will be a very good move for him. At the moment, staying in Napoli is not an option. He should find his way to Chelsea. Out of Osimhen, yes, there are concerns as regards, we are not sure of what Chelsea will do. We are not even sure if Enzo Maresca will last the end of the season and the rest of that. However, an Osimhen in Chelsea gives him more visibility, and that visibility keeps him on the lips of potential buyers or potential suitors much later. So that's the reason why Osimhen and his agent should ensure that even if it's a loan deal, he finds his way to Chelsea, because Chelsea will give him the opportunity to be able to showcase himself, irrespective of whatever it is that Chelsea is passing through, at the background. I think Chelsea will be a suitable club for Osimhen in this current situation that he is right now.
Maiwa, let me quickly ask you, between Chelsea and Arsenal, where do you think Osimhen is going to do better?
If not that Osimhen has found himself in this conundrum, I think he would thrive much more better in Arsenal than in Chelsea. But however, as the situation is right now, and Chelsea is the only club showing interest, Chelsea is way better than Napoli, because in Napoli he will be stuck on the bench, and I don't want to see Osimhen leave footballing career and become a YouTuber overnight. We'll just see Osimhen saying, subscribe and like my channel so that I will follow us. From being a footballer to a YouTuber.
Anyway, Mikel has added his voice to the move of talking about Victor Osimhen. He has said that Victor Osimhen is the killer player that they need to kill games. And of course, if they want to compete for anything this season, they will need the quality of Victor Osimhen in that setup. And of course, Mikel is a former Chelsea player, and definitely you understand why he will want the quality of Victor Osimhen coming to join the club side. But away from Osimhen,
I also heard some unconfirmed rumors that even Drogba is aiming for Mikel to go to Chelsea. They are likening Mikel to be the next Drogba in Chelsea. But would Maresca want to bank on Mikel like he did with Jamie Vardy at Leicester City before bringing them over to the Premier League? That we wait to see. But then again, let's never say never, because this weekend is going to be defining for some club. Imagine when Arsenal possibly loses their first game. I know some people want to storm me their shoes like they did.
Possibly.
If they lose their first game this weekend, they would want to be in the hunt for a striker. And of course, who says they might also be coming for Osimhen?
Maybe that's the reason why Osimhen might be stalling too, waiting to see what will happen when the season starts.
Exactly.
Maybe club sides might change their mind
definitely,
at the end of the season. So he's playing the waiting game, and definitely players do it, agents do it.
Of course.
All right, coming back home, it has been specially gathered that Sporting Lagos coach Abdullahi Bifo is favored to be the next Super Eagles. I'm talking about the Flying Eagles coach, I beg your pardon, ahead of Nduka Ugbade. And the top source said Bifo's vast experience in the NPFL, which has spanned stints with Kwara United and Katsina United, as well as his very powerful big backers, will now work in his favor as the next coach of the country's under-20 team, talking about the Flying Eagles. And the qualifying tournaments will be played between October 17 and 31 in Togo. And of course, going to the Super Falcons, where after failing to win a match in the past, and they just concluded the Paris Olympic Games in France, the Super Falcons of Nigeria has remained unmoved in the latest FIFA rankings. And the 9-time African champions suffered defeats to Brazil, Spain, and Japan as they finished bottom of the group. And according to the rankings, the Super Falcons is still number 1 in Africa and ahead of South Africa in that order as far as the rankings for women football is concerned. Of course, I had to rush through those stories just to talk about the Premier League, where it looks like the financial fair play charges is coming very soon, and they say that Manchester City could face up to 70 to 80 points deduction that would all but guarantee relegation to the championship if found guilty in their upcoming hearing over their 115 Premier League charges. And City's hearing is expected to begin in September, with proceedings anticipated to last around 10 weeks. And the Premier League champions, who have won the title in each of the last 4 seasons, deny any wrongdoing. If they are found guilty, City could be in line for significant punishment. Specifics have not been shared ahead of the hearing, but fines and point deduction are both thought to be among the possibilities. One unnamed executive expects any points penalty to lie between 70 to 80 points, all but guaranteeing relegation. City finished last season on 91 points, putting them 65 points clear of 18th place Luton Town. Another unnamed individual suggested the club could face deductions over 3 successive seasons. That's what I want to hear, music to my ears. And a move which would damage their hopes of Champions League qualification earlier in the week. Premier League chief, talking about Richard Bastas, indicated the importance of resolving City's case sooner rather than later. And of course, Maiwa will be interested in that as well. And 3 seasons back, it should be 3 seasons, 4 seasons back. Because if you say 4 seasons back, that means 2 league titles should be in club's cabinets by now. So
what I see this, becoming is there's a possibility that they would shred those points. If it's 60, 70 points, they might take 20 off this season, take 30 off next season. No,
they are going to look at 3 seasons back because they committed the offense in those seasons.
Yes.
That's what will be done.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. But I'm talking about the 60,
no, after doing that, they will now start looking at the deduction for the new season. So
2 things will happen.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola will leave.
No, Guardiola said he's ready to coach them in the championship. So imagine having Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland.
Money is there now, so
yeah, Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland. That will be the most expensive team to ever play the championship. Maiwa.
What a history.
I know Maiwa will like this. Maiwa will like this news.
Well,
this news is interesting. My wife is literally looking at me now, eyeballing me. But she does not agree with the charges. I mean, she's saying there is a hanky-panky going on. But like I always say, if you have committed the offense, you should face the jail time. The bottom line is this. I think the 80 points should be spread across those seasons that they committed the offense. I mean, it's not this new season that the offense was committed. The offense was committed, in previous seasons, and the points should be deducted accordingly. After that, the punishment that is deserving for them should be meted out. Remember, last season, we had Nottingham Forest got a point deduction. Everton got some points deducted because of breaching the rule. So after that is deducted, I think if they are found guilty, emphasis on if they are found guilty, after the point has been deducted in previous years and trophies exchanging hand and the rest of that, then they should now face another heavy penalty, banishing them to the 3rd tier of the English league. Because if they banish them to the championship, one season they will come back again. That's the truth. The punishment needs to be very severe so that other clubs who have ideas in their head to do things like this will not do it again. My wife is literally eyeballing me.
To this time, again, I dare say that the FA, maybe they basically are just looking for concrete evidence to nail City to, point deduction.
I mean, David, the thing is this. I think the FA, I think it's because of the kind of influence, City hold. That's the reason why they've prolonged this. Remember, the amount of revenue the City group is pumping into the EPL, makes EPL one of the most attractive brands. Sure. And that's the reason why, the FA has been really slow in pursuing this case. If not, people making a whole lot of mess and just already probably bury this case. This thing has been going on for almost 5 years. Yeah. Before they are taking them to court. Why would you take you 5 years to do an investigation when everything is crystal clear? Okay, so what happened to Everton? How come they were able to quickly, decide Everton's case and deduct their points when the league was going on? How come they were able to do that for Nottingham Forest when the league was going on and there was no complaint?
Everton don't know people.
I mean, it's because of the kind of money City brings in. And to be honest with you, money always affects, people's judgment and the rest of that. And that's but it's good that they are coming to a conclusion now. The case is coming out now, and we are about to see the proceedings, take place in our presence, and for us to be able to say exactly if City will be found guilty.
All right, let's talk about the Premier League is back, and of course it starts tonight, and with Manchester City bidding to continue their supremacy in English football and Ipswich making their top flight. Manchester United host Fulham to get us underway tonight with matches spread across 4 days. Ipswich host Liverpool on Saturday before Manchester City travel to Chelsea on Sunday. in the two most eye-catching games of the opening weekend. Arsenal will be hoping they can finally peep Manchester City to the title, while Manchester United are looking to recover from their worst season since 1990. And of course, there will be tweaks to handball, VAR, and injury time, plus more to look forward to. And of course, Manchester United's new £52 million signing, talking about Lenny Euro. We missed the first 3 months of the season. Wow! After injuring his foot in a preseason friendly of tonight's game. And Smith Rowe should make his competitive debut for the Cottagers after joining for a club record fee. And of course, the head coach, Marco Silva, says it will take time for the midfielder to find his best physical level, but is confident he can make the difference. And of course, Manchester United Fulham did the double against Man U last season. And we had Nigerians who were guilty as charged, talking about Basi and Iwobi. They will be in tonight's game as well.
Well, if they like, Smith Rowe should be in the mix. One thing is certain, we'll see an amazing football tonight. Whether or not Manchester United would lose at Old Trafford for the first time again this season to Fulham, that would be a very, very tough decision. I will definitely be watching it. But then again, if I had known that you had this Euro thing on your script, I would have found a way to expunge it. But it's what it is. Lenny Euro injured. There is a possibility of playing Delete and Maguire on 5 and 6. And of course, Dalot and Mazwari 2 and 3. So, anyways, this is just what it is. But Manchester United seem like a club that is ready to compete, even though we hear that we will still be, be in the market for midfielders. But another important part of this conversation is the Fulham side would be without Willian, the former Chelsea player, who, of course, is another instrumental player in that team. But we're hoping that Manchester United will do the needful and Thunder will not strike 3 times in the same place.
Mayo, I know Madam is looking at you to tell us something that she doesn't know. Madam, don't worry. Judgment Day is upon Man United tonight.
Well, the thing is this. The joy in Jerry's face when he was talking about Lenny Euro.
Like you needed to see him smiling.
It's just 3 months. I hope it will not be more than that. Don't worry.
I mean, the joy in his face is just cracking me up. However, the thing is, I think it's a good one that we are starting out on. Fulham is going to be a very difficult game for us. We'll be missing Højlund and some couple of players. However, my problem has always been the defense. Yes, Delete and Maguire appearing, Mazarawi and Dalot, playing 2 and 3. The jury is still out on them. I mean, this will be their first game. They might have been training before, but this will be their first test. And I want to see how that partnership will work. I would have loved to see, a partnership of Lenny Euro or even a Martinez and Delete in the central defense. However, my problem has always been the midfield. Last season, it was more of, chopping and changing the defense. Let's even leave the defense alone. The midfield most times, put a whole lot of pressure on the defense.
True.
And still yet, Manchester United, they have not done any reinforcement in the midfield position, and that is very key for us to be able to, have a fantastic season. I hope before the transfer window closes, we are able to sign 1 or 2 players that can come into the midfield and change, the face of the game. I want us to have players like the likes of, a Rodri for Man City that can do and undo in midfield, that can, cut off play, support play, and just so that we don't have that kind of quality at the moment. And those are the things that is a bit worrying to me this season. However, like David rightly said, I hope Lightning will not strike the 3rd time, because if he strike the 3rd time, that are non-pass coincidence, so he don't become
Don't worry. Manage Casemiro and Kobe Mino. On a good day, Casemiro brings confidence, but now it's like a joke. Almighty Casemiro.
No, you see, the intensity of the Premier League is one that you cannot look away from. I was reading an account credited to Thiago Silva that he said after every game he rests for another 20 minutes. Like after running back and forth for 90 minutes, that's another reason why he didn't even survive that much in the Premier League. So the intensity is heavy. These guys are aging. And I'm talking about Casemiro now. Yes, the experience is there, but are you going to look away from the fact that he's also that player that would not want to allow you passing without, fouling the next player, getting carded and costing the team? So all of this is what we should consider.
Since Michael Olise finished his career, I'm not seeing anything left. Olise has already done the job of the Undertaker on behalf of Casemiro. He's dead and buried, but it looks like you are carrying the remaining cups and carrying around games. Carrying around games.
If Banta was
you're carrying around games. Fulham will just be smiling. Casemiro, opportunity. It won't be we use it to shine tonight.
But I mean, Casemiro should begin to consider, another career in swimming. I mean, the last time he was playing the defense, he was just swimming at the back, just jumping.
Michael Phelps of the BPL.
I mean, so the
butterfly. It was a butterfly move.
I mean, if Manchester United have any plan in doing well this season, and there should be no excuse for Ten Hag this season.
Oh yes,
the season of excuse has passed. Manchester United need to do very well, and for us to be able to do very well, we need a midfield that can hold their own. Most of the time last season, if you look at our ball play in the midfield, we are always lacking in possession in the midfield, and that put a whole lot of pressure on the defense, and that's the reason why Onana ended up conceding almost more than 80 goals last season. So if we don't do something about our midfield, Onana might end up conceding 90 goals this season again.
We'll start with 3 tonight. Start with 3 tonight.
No. I'll watch his pace today, and then by tomorrow I can tell you for free. This is what
it started with 3 against Liverpool. Maybe that is 3.
Liverpool is just
in preseason. How many? He considered close to 10 goals in preseason. That's the opener. That shows you that in 3 games, 10 goals.
Is that right? That's a preseason that I don't want to reckon with.
Yeah, you will reckon with it after tonight.
I'm not Arsenal.
It will be embarrassing.
I'm not Arsenal that goes lifting up Emirates Cup and I'm enjoying.
Go on.
You win. Don't give us. You see the excuse you want to give now. This is you trying to salary for something that's not happening.
It is what it is.
I mean, Jerry, the thing is this. Tomorrow, we'll put how's the pronunciation again?
Arne Slot.
Slot for Ikeja.
Arne Slot.
Arne Slot.
Yeah.
I hope Liverpool will not be slothful tomorrow.
Those ones.
And end up losing, and you come on Monday and be telling us, you forgot his
3 points in the bag. Go and take it. Over 2.5 Liverpool straight win. You sure banker. Sure odds. I'll give you sure odds. Cash out on Monday, no time. By the end of that game, just that Arsenal will take on Wolves, and Arsenal will be at home at the Emirates Stadium as take on Wolves. Everton at Goodison Park play host to Brighton, and there will also be Newcastle United versus Southampton. Nottingham Forest takes on Bournemouth, and West Ham United 3 tackles with Aston Villa, and it will be the turn of Brentford up against Crystal Palace, and Chelsea Manchester City is a big one, Super Sunday fixture as Leicester City play host to Spurs. Taking a look at these fixtures broadly, let's start with Arsenal, Wolves, before we go to Chelsea, Man City. Arsenal should be able to dispatch Wolves at home.
Well, on paper, it looks like Arsenal seem ready, and they've gotten one or two decent players, young players as well. On paper, yes, they should be able to dismantle this Wolves team, but the most important part is football is not played with the mouth. I mean, it's just what it is. Football is not played with the mouth. You play 90 minutes on the field of play. So Arsenal seem like that team. They will definitely most likely override Wolves in that particular one. But the one that looks like a very interesting battle would be the game between the Hammers and Aston Villa. As far as I'm concerned, that would be a very, very feisty game. The Hammers, that's West Ham, they seem like a very interesting team to watch this season. Even though, Aston Villa will be going to Europe this season, which is it's not going to be easy for them. I mean, if you're playing in Europe and then you're coming to play the Premier League with it, play the FA, play the Carling Cup, or more, when you travel and come back, you will know what jet lag truly means. But then, West Ham looks like a team that really wants to fight for something.
They've also spent money in this window, and both of them, they bought 16 players, 8 apiece. for Aston Villa and West Ham. So those players will be looking forward to what they will bring to the table.
So
they spent £153 million for Aston Villa, and West Ham spent £126 million, as opposed to Liverpool, who refused to spend £0. So far, so good. But it is what it is. And Man City up against Chelsea. Students versus teacher. Maresca up against Guardiola. And of course, Chelsea will be at home at Stamford Bridge. Kopama will fancy this game. I would have loved to see Kopama and Osimhen in this kind of game, opening the season in a Super Sunday fixture.
Oh,
Maiwa, where would the pendulum swing?
Well, I think it's going to end in a draw. I don't think there'll be more Enzo Maresca will want to prove. But I'm looking at the game and I'm envisaging a draw in that particular game. Remember, Man City has been struggling too. If you look at the Community Shield that they played, they struggled a bit, if not for lack of concentration that allowed them equalized against Manchester United. Manchester United might have, stolen that particular game. But I'm looking forward to see how Guardiola will file out. But on the scale of, the preseason and everything, I'll probably want to, tip that the game probably end in a draw. And I wanted to talk about the game of Aston Villa and West Ham. I would like to see how Unai Emery will set up now. And the West Ham without David Moyes, I would like to see how they will file out with the new players that they've signed, what they would like, what they want to do in the EPL, and just those are the two games I'm really looking forward to see over the weekend.
All right, and of course we had new rules, and that means we're going to be having a social media post on how they educate the fans on how the VR is working, and of course the handball is not going to be the same. It's going to be based on your body movement to determine whether it's handball. Not like you'll be afraid. Maguire will be putting his hand behind his back and so on.
I don't know why he has to go.
Yes.
Why did you call Maguire? Tell me.
That is an example of those who do that.
Why did you not call?
It's a perfect example. Maguire is a perfect example of all those who do all those funny things.
David, maybe Jerry wants Maguire in Liverpool. Maybe that's why.
I want to see him in the Championship. Don't worry. Maybe with Manchester United, I don't know. But it's all good. All right. Thank you very much, Mario. It's been awesome having you. We hope to be here on Monday by the special grace of God to do justice to all the action, and hopefully we'll have all to smile about, and of course see you smile. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, if Man City and Chelsea draws, you are going to eat draw soup on Monday.
Well, for the sake of my stomach, I would not want to say anything about the Man City game.
You already said it. You said draw already. Wait to eat draw soup later in the night. Don't complain when you see draw soup on your table. All right, have a great weekend, and of course.
And you too, thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to Manchester United, doing the job against Fulham. I hope they make us proud tonight. Thank you for having me once again.
All right, David, it's a pleasure having you.
Yep, thank you so very much for having me. And yes, like my wife said, I am hoping to see a beautiful game of football tonight, and Manchester United getting the first 3 points of the season.
All this anticipation. Of course, big thanks to the guys behind the scene talking about the lives of Manfred, Jeremiah, Samuel,